round two, Melissa.
Yes.
We tried to record this morning, had some internet issues, but here we are, Sunday night. I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked you this morning, so I already know the answer. But what was the fastest you've ever read a book?
It's incredible that you asked this the second time, like I've read a book even faster between this morning and this evening. I like
Or
that you believe that of me.
you change your answer to be like, I like how you believe that I've read a book.
These are purely for show. These are
Right, yeah.
decoration. Everyone has a flask inside. In high school, I was assigned to read a sad Russian gulag novel called A Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich, which is a shorter book. It's only like 200 pages. I can't tell you in pages. I can tell you in thickness of paperback, and it's like
Mm,
that thick of a paperback. But we had 2 days to read it.
I
We were
gotcha.
not given advance notice. She hands us the book on Monday, says we're going to talk about this on Wednesday. So every bit of my free time was taken up by this sad, cold book, and I really didn't like it.
Yeah, interesting. Because like from what you just described, it doesn't seem like it's that long, but it's just so
Grueling.
depressing or grueling.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so that's interesting. I ask you that because I happened to finish a book this weekend that I started yesterday and got done with it last night. Um, did not plan to do that. I just had the audio book on as I was working on some podcast stuff and just happened to get through it and I couldn't really sleep, so I just sat there in bed listening to my audio book and that was it. Um, but yeah, the book was Salvation of a Saint by Kigo Higashino, Japanese mystery novel writer. Um, it was an interesting book, good one. It's his books from I've read a good handful of them now. They're not overly complicated. They're pretty straightforward in terms of plot and characters. Uh, but I kind of like that. It's just kind of simple and cozy, and I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
good. This is exactly what
Is
I
is
want. A standard
is it
mystery
literal
novel.
is it literally a cozy? Because there, the subdivision of murder mystery novels. You know the cozy type. Cozy is a genre.
So
It's Murder
how
She
would
Wrote type vibes. It's that.
no,
It's truly that.
not murder she wrote vibes.
Okay, but there is a certain coziness to just the pure procedural straightforwardness of certain mysteries. I do understand what
Right.
you're talking about, even if it isn't cute old ladies in sweaters.
It's more along the lines of an Agatha Christie, but maybe her lesser known stuff, if that makes sense. Because I feel like even some Agatha Christie books, in the few that I've read, uh, certain ones can be a little bit more complicated, or have like better characters in them, and some are just like, here's a mystery book, right, and that's it. And that's what these ones kind of feel like in a way that I'm just like, oh yes, this is perfect. Just a good mystery. Here we go.
Mhm.
Um, so I've been enjoying that stuff. Melissa, I have been working on a new podcast
You
design
did? You
thing
showed
for
it to
our
me.
video podcasts. Yeah. Just something I kind of got inspired to do this past week. Again, was not planning on doing all of that stuff. It's still a work in progress. But if you are watching the video version of this, we are bigger on screen. Would no longer can see like the entirety, especially of my camera right now. I might see if I can fix that a little bit, but yeah, we are bigger squares on the screen, got some rounded edges on there, no white border. Melissa was making fun of me for the drop shadow. Uh, so we have some good fun stuff, especially for over on the review show. Um, Stuff
What if
like
that
that.
was
So
your superpower? You could just manifest a drop shadow at any moment. That's your mutation. You only have graphic design related mutations.
Graphic design is
Somebody's
my
like,
passion.
"Can you grow bigger?" You're like, "No, but I can be bold or italic." And they're like, "Isn't italic you just leaning over?"
Michael Jackson, hold my beer.
It's when you went italic, iconic.
Yeah, or like everyone is hyphenating words, and you're like, no, that's an M dash. You need an M dash here. Don't. They're just like, what?
That's
Why?
you just know when somebody is using a hyphen instead of an M dash, and it wakes you up in the middle of the night.
It's like poker face, but M dash.
Somewhere out there,
stuff.
there's an open parentheses without its corresponding close parentheses.
Yeah.
I must go.
Look,
Justice
it happens.
must be served.
It happens to the best of us, right? Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yes. Please.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast. It's the Captain's Log. It's Kyle and it's Melissa, and every week we thirst for the taste of legend.
Yeah.
That's basically it. So this week, my office had to create an extremely important document for a prospective client.
Mm-hmm.
And we really wanted to impress this client, not just with the content of what we were saying, but visually how the document looked. And my supervisor started building this in Canva, which has good, accessible graphic design pizzazz, is not a word processor.
Yeah,
does not understand, will not automatically return a line. We had to hard return every line for like dozens and dozens of pages.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you started this. Now that you've started it, we're going to finish it this way, but if I were you, I never would have started it this way. You stuck us here.
There's probably
hard returns.
There's probably a way you can make a template in Canva that you can then upload into Word or PowerPoint, like use it as a background or something like that. But I don't know. I've to be honest, haven't really used Canva, despite
you don't need to
having a degree in graphic design. I guess that may
it's
be
for people who
why
don't
I
have
don't.
that.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's become such a like household name in the office world in normal like workday culture that
yes,
I do actually find it kind of surprising that I have not used it or made something in Canva.
Well, invite somebody to something.
Hey, come on over, everyone. We're having a Canva party. Let's just make the cringiest Canva we can make. It'll be great.
I'm not only using it for the invitations, the theme of the party is We're having a Canva bee, a Canva circle.
Yeah, exactly.
Just you and a bunch of moms, you and PTA moms all hanging out doing a Canva.
We're Canvaing the area. But good stuff. Melissa, I am coming out to visit you real soon, in person, live, in the flesh, meet space.
True.
Yeah.
You and Rachel.
Yes, my partner will be joining us. She's my ride. have no way of getting up there without her.
Is this how you introduce her to people?
Hey everyone, this is my ride, Rachel.
My ride.
Hey, have you guys seen Rachel? She's my ride.
The scene in an action movie where a guy's wife is in danger and he's like, "That's my wife."
That's my ride.
Yes, you will be road tripping up. Not a terribly long road trip, Oklahoma City to St. Louis. You'll be coming here in July to mark 300 of this guy, 300 captain's logs.
Woo! 300 captain's logs. Yeah, I'm super excited. I'm stoked about all of that. You came out here for episode 200, and we were like, let's
Mm-hmm.
flip the script for 300. So today we're gonna be kind of planning out some things, kinda, or
Mm-hmm.
at least at the very least starting to brainstorm so we can
Mm-hmm.
start narrowing down what we're going to do. Um, First up, right off the bat, we kind of need to, and this might, we might have to have the majority of this conversation off mic behind the scenes here.
Certainly.
How are we gonna record the podcast?
Well, I can put another chair in here. We can sit at my dining room table. The lighting's going to be a problem. I'm going to send you pictures of these places and you tell me where you want to sit.
So I'm gonna bring my camera
Good.
and a tripod.
Good.
So if nothing else, maybe I can set this like on your back wall or something like that.
Uh-huh.
We can just record it that way. My issue is that, one, I don't know if I have a memory card that's big enough that can run for an hour of video.
Mm.
I would probably need to get one beforehand, and that's okay. We can make that work, and then yeah, we can just. I'm not sure how many USB things we got on your little laptop there, but we could potentially
I had
either
a dongle.
share a mic or split it somehow so we can just record both of our stuff in your Audacity and do it that way. I could potentially buy a little shotgun mic for my camera and just be like, hey, we know this is not our usual audio sound, but here we are. We could do a different thing where we kind of stitch it together from the videos.
Yes, I was just about to suggest this. You know what? If we don't try and record it professionally, then it doesn't have to sound very good. If we just take videos as we go along, if we do a travelogue, then we can stitch it together and make that. It's our first progressive, mobile, on the go patchwork episode of the podcast.
Yeah, and then I can stitch it together when I get back home and I have all my stuff here. So yeah, we could do something like that. I don't know. I in recent months, especially I've been working on some podcast stuff here. I miss having a laptop. I
Oh, that's right, you don't.
I have a really old one now. It was the one that I got for free. Remember that? Were you on the podcast when I got, or was that with Paul?
When what?
When I got my laptop for free.
Oh, that does sound familiar.
I probably
I
told
know.
you about it, at least.
All I know about a
if-
laptop is when you went to see your parents for Christmas and we tried to record an episode on the finale of Hawkeye on an old laptop and the recording just ate itself.
Yeah.
It just became a black hole. We
Yeah.
lost that one.
That would be the same laptop I'm talking about.
Quality for free.
I have it, but I haven't used it in a good 3 or 4 years. And it's much older than that. So maybe it can at least record a microphone.
If both of us have phones and our phones are better than any laptop either of us have, let's just stitch the whole thing together on phones. That way we can
Episode 300 shot on iPhone.
It's episode 300. It's Cloverfield.
Right, yeah.
We're just out about
So, Melissa.
Cloverfield experience.
Yeah.
That way, one thing I want to prioritize is you actually seeing the city. You'll come see my apartment, but the point is not for you to be here.
I
Don't
have to
drive
take a
up here
picture with the party sign, back there being
with
like,
the big
hey,
spoon,
right, yeah.
all the favorites. Your original idea is that you wanted to celebrate episode 300 by we bake a cake together, which is very
Potentially.
cute. But that's more time than you think it is. And
Yeah.
I have this little kitchen, and it's going to be cramped, it's going to be hot, and it's not going to be as fun as you think it is. And I don't want you to come over here, spend 6 hours here when you could be out seeing my beautiful city.
I'm recording an extra video on my way home. Man, her kitchen was awful. It was so hot. Worst podcast ever. Yeah, I'm up for kind of experimenting and stuff like that and trying all sorts of things. I'm probably gonna have to get a new memory card anyways. I don't know where the two that I have are exactly. Probably in my closet with all my camera
Mhm.
stuff, but
Mhm.
yeah, I'll have to look into all of that. So might look into a few more details on that off mic here a little bit. But St. Louis,
St. Louis.
my first time out there. I have never been to St. Louis. So here's the plan. I think Rachel and I, she's my ride, will be driving up on Thursday. And so we'll get there Thursday evening, Thursday night. I'm not sure exactly when, but maybe we could do like a real quick late dinner, something that night. I'm not sure if we're going to be staying in like a hotel or an Airbnb yet. I have not looked. So I'm about to start on all of that. Yeah, then we'll have all day Friday, I think, right? And then Saturday and Sunday. We're thinking of driving back Sunday, in like the early afternoon.
Okay.
So we could do like a breakfast or a brunch thing Sunday,
Okay.
and then we'd
I
head
have
out
something for
afterwards.
that.
Perfect.
Yes.
And then I think we're just taking the day off on Monday to recuperate. So,
We're going to go hard here. Plan ahead.
hell yeah. So yeah, that is the time frame that we have, and this is all happening in the middle of July.
Yes.
Yeah.
It'll be
So-
hot. It'll be humid. I know you're used to the humidity. Virginia is a muggy state as well.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
hope it doesn't treat you too bad.
I think that should be fine.
Thursday, I started building a PowerPoint and did not get very far. But you're welcome to put the 8 slides I have up on the screen.
Let's see. Grab the link to this guy and then put view on slideshow. And then I can be like, hey, go over to surf the interwebs screen thing here. Wow, that is so bright. Ugh! Oh, I think, let me see. I think I know why. Give me just a sec. Let me see if I can do this, and then I do this and that. How do I turn off this extension? Dark mode. Oh no, it's just that your slides are white. I had a dark mode extension on for Google Docs, and I was like, oh, maybe it's reversing everything here, because you're when I can see your little your picture, your icon that's like Melissa is also looking at these slides. You have the evil reverse negative face on there.
Like I said, it's only 8 slides. I didn't finish it. You don't have to put it up on the screen at all.
Okay. Well, they saw the first slide. A visit to St. Louis. Gateway to the West. The Big Gooey.
Nobody calls it the Big... Nobody calls it that, but I do. If I had to make up a nickname for our city, I'd call it the Big Gooey.
Oh, so this is a personal nickname, not like this is
Yes.
the like
No,
sanctioned state
no, oh
nickname that
no,
no one likes,
no.
but we all
I don't even know if I've ever
begrudgingly
said it
call
out
that
loud before.
the Big
But
Gooey. How did this
Big
start?
Gooey. We one of our signature dishes is a dessert called gooey butter cake.
Okay.
We love Provel, which is the gooeyest of cheeses.
Mm-hmm.
We love cheesy foods, and we're really humid, like I said, and we're warm. We're
Everyone's
warm
just gooey.
people. We're soft. We're gooey. I think we're gooey. You come
Good
here and you
lord.
tell me afterwards if this was a gooey city or not.
First thing I say when we pass the state divide, I'll be like, "Good morning, the Big Gooey."
So,
Anyways,
the two things we have earmarked because they are ticketed events.
mm-hmm.
Do you think you could get in time on Thursday for an evening showing the premiere of Superman, seeing James Gunn's Superman in James Gunn's childhood movie theater?
Potentially, but I'm gonna say that might be a little risky.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I think we're trying to leave that morning, so we get there like at a good dinner time. So yeah, we probably can. That also just feels like maybe cutting it close. Maybe.
I movie showings are not out yet. So
Right. Yes.
we could probably find something at like a 7, 7:30, 8 o'clock, late enough in the evening. But if you want to play it safe and not have ticketed events the night you come in, okay.
I gotcha. Let's. I'll talk to Rachel about when, because I'm
Okay.
up for doing that stuff and just being like, yeah, let's just go midnight.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
That sounds aggressive, but okay.
All right, fine. 2 a.m. Let's go. um. Yeah, but yeah, if that does not work out or we're not really feeling up to that, because again, we will be driving for what, like 6, 7 hours. Um,
Mhm.
we'll see. But yes,
Yeah.
Superman. Definitely want to go see
Yes.
Superman because that's opening weekend. I'm
Yes.
super
And
excited about that.
now I don't know for sure that this I know the part of town that James Gunn grew up in, and I know the movie theater there. I don't know if that movie theater has been there for decades, and that is literally the exact same one where he went to see Richard Donner's Superman when he was a
Right?
kid, but it probably is.
How cool would that be though if he like
Right?
showed up
Right?
and was just like, "Hey everyone, thanks for watching Superman, my home
There's a
theater."
non-zero chance, or at least like his mom might be there. There's there's a decent chance of you being in a theater with a gun, a distant gun, some
Sure, yeah.
cousin.
Um, I saw that this is the one you have on your little slide here, but they have the St. Louis specific poster that they
Yes,
released. I thought that was
just for
neat.
us.
Yeah,
No other city got one, I don't think, just us.
yeah, pretty neat. I'm excited. I think that should be super fun, and I know we'll be watching that first Superman movie over
Yes.
on the review show. I think like the week before or something like that.
Mhm.
So should be a lot of fun.
I also insist on this is the one thing where I ask you to truly indulge me.
Okay.
Otherwise, you play jazz, you decide what you want the whole weekend. I
Mm-hmm.
really want to take you to the Muni in Forest Park.
Okay. Yeah.
This is our big summertime outdoor musical theater. It has been around for over 100 years. It is a cornerstone, a rite of passage, a truly important cultural object here in our city. A beautiful place. They do 7 Broadway caliber shows every summer. These are not touring productions. They produce these shows
Their own stuff.
entirely
Interesting.
themselves. Yes, yes. Uh, the weekend you would be here, the show is Disney's Frozen. And
Yeah, and
I've been
you've
telling you.
I was about to say you've told me a little bit that this is the one they pull out all the stops for. This is like their big family friendly
Yes.
like end of the season. Is that right?
No,
Like their big thing
no,
or like
no.
start or
It's
something? I don't know.
the season starts around Father's Day and finishes up like second week of August. The
Okay.
family show is usually around early to mid July, and it runs a couple extra nights compared to the other shows. And this is the one where it's going to have sold out audiences. It's going to
Yeah.
have every generation. Like grandparents are going to take grandkids. They really put some extra magic into the family shows. So even if you think I don't care about seeing Frozen, uh, it's going to really impress you.
Yeah, no, I'm totally down. I've mentioned this to Rachel and she's excited as
Good.
well. Um this would be a lot of fun.
Okay. These are two things the Muni, because it is outdoors, I suggest we get tickets for like the Friday night, and
Mhm.
then we've got Saturday night as a backup in case Friday gets rained out.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
always try to suggest plan Muni early so that you have fallback time.
Sure. Yeah. I will follow your lead on that one.
Thank you. The Muni is one of many gyms in Forest Park. Forest Park is, if you look at a map of St. Louis, it's the big green rectangle. This
Okay.
place is huge. It is bigger than Central Park in New York City, and it has been voted the #1 city park in the US.
Cool.
And everything in it is free. This is the home of all of our cultural institutions. The Muni, the Art Museum, the Zoo, the Science Center, the History Museum, all of them are free. The
That's
Muni
awesome.
isn't completely free. The Muni seats 11,000 people, and the back 1,000 seats are free every night if you get
Mm,
there early enough. So we will be buying tickets for that because the free seats are going to be a madhouse. But
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you are in for an affordable time, I assure you.
Hell yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah. Forest Park, you can build a whole day out of. The St. Louis Art Museum is my second favorite place in the city. There's a little bit of everything in here.
Mhm.
The current special exhibit is called Roaring Art, Fashion, and the Automobile in France, like 1918 to 1938. It is
Interesting.
the Roaring 20s, and they take that literally. They're like roaring motors. And it's the intersection of the automobile and how that drove advances in fashion, in design, in
Ooh.
manufacturing, and household goods. It has a dozen antique cars, massive, big ass boats of cars that they had to drive into the museum and park there. And so many beautiful old dresses, really interesting odd objects like little suitcases for road trips and things like
Huh.
that, ladies
Yeah.
driving gloves.
Okay.
Neat stuff.
That's fun.
This I can get you into for free because I have a membership. And I know this art museum very well. I'm there a lot. So I can lead, if you want to speed run it, I can lead you on a speed run. I can give you the
Okay.
highlights tour.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Gotcha.
We
Gotcha.
even we have other art museums as well, specifically contemporary ones that I don't know as well. The general purpose St. Louis Art Museum I know very well.
Cool.
And there's this big statue of St. Louis out front. That's him on the horse. The
Mr.
literal
St.
St.
Louis.
Louis. I don't know the horse's name. I'll have to find out.
It's Saint. Saint and Lois.
Speaking of animals, the
Interesting.
St. Louis Zoo is an award-winning, lauded, internationally known zoo. I also have a membership here, and we can do everything for free.
Cool. Okay. Okay.
Ride on the train, see the sea lion show. Little sea lions do flips and bop balls with their noses, all the classic stuff.
Nice. Yeah.
Last time I was there,
Does the orangutan tell time or anything?
I don't know. I don't know if they're involved in this show. It's been years since I've seen it. The last I remember seeing it, the introduction audio, hello, welcome to the St. Louis Zoo. You're here at Sea Lion Sound. That announcement was recorded by John Goodman.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. Okay.
So they're probably still playing it unless they replaced him with a hipper, younger Missourian like Chapel Roan or Kaylee
Right.
Spaney.
Yeah. Uh, okay.
Zoo's pretty
Interesting.
cool.
Does the zoo have an aquarium section to it at
We
all, or
have
is there a?
we have some aquarium stuff. We have a very cool penguin habitat where you go in, it's enclosed, it's cold, and it's
Mhm.
full of fake rocks. It's like you've walked onto a little movie set and it's cold and there's penguins there. I like that part the best.
There you
We
go.
have a separate aquarium at a different
Okay.
part in the city that is not free. That's part of Union Station,
Gotcha.
which has an aquarium. It is like an old train station. That's the infrastructure you're in and around. There's a big aquarium, a big Ferris wheel, a bunch of
Gotcha.
carnival games, all sorts of odds and ends.
Yeah.
We go if you really dig aquarium, we can do that. I actually haven't been. It's a recent addition to the city. It's just a couple years
Oh,
old.
okay. Interesting. Good to know.
The
I
science.
have a feeling that Rachel would like the aquarium better than the
Okay,
zoo.
good to know. Good to know. Okay, it is indoors. The Science Center. This includes a planetarium if you want to see a planetarium show. It's
That'd
like
be fun.
the main center, and then there's a sky bridge over the highway with like
Mm,
glass panels in the floor so you can look down on the cars under your feet. You walk
nice.
across the bridge, and then that's how you get to the planetarium on the other side. It's pretty cool. This has big animatronic dinosaurs and an IMAX theater.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. A
That's
little, a
awesome.
little, a little more kid friendly, I suppose, but a
Sure.
good
Yeah.
time if you want some science in your day.
Yeah. Science rules.
Science does rule.
Bill Nye, the science guy.
There's another part of Forest Park called Turtle Park that is big concrete statues of turtles and a 40-foot snake that
Okay.
you just go and like climb on.
Interesting.
If you go to the aquarium and you're like, that's a big turtle, but where can I see a bigger turtle? And I want to
That's
get
the
on
biggest
its back.
one you got?
I demand bigger.
That's
You
it?
can go to Turtle Park. There is also Laumeier Sculpture Park. This is another free attraction, all outdoors. This is just a big, beautiful park full of massive sculptures for
Okay.
you to walk around and see. I will send you the spelling of this name so you can look it up for yourself.
Wellmeyer Sculpture Park. Images. I see a big face. I see a big eyeball. See some kind of weird cylinders. See a little Lincoln log pyramid. Guess it's a big
weird
Lincoln
cylinders.
log pyramid.
That big red statue, that is its signature piece. That is called The Way.
Mm.
So if you want, you can take a photo of yourself in front of that and send it to all your Star Wars friends, captioned, "This is the way."
The way.
That's what it is.
Interesting. Okay.
We got big
Good
stuff to see.
Good stuff.
Another thing that I would not typically include on most tours of St. Louis, but I know it is going to have very specific meaning to you.
Uh-huh.
I want to take you for a drive around Newtown. Maybe we do this like Thursday night when you come in. if you don't mind sitting in a car a little bit longer. You can come to my place and then I'll take you over here. Newtown is the town with the obelisk.
Ah, okay, okay. I see.
This is a weird little planned community that when I looked it up today, I actually read into the history of it. It is based on the neighborhood where they really filmed The Truman Show.
Oh,
So
wow.
when you go in, that's what it feels like. It's such a strange place in that if you saw this in a movie, it would read as sinister. But when you're driving around it, nothing actually sinister is happening. It seems really cute and homey and cozy.
At least that's what
It's
they
so
want you to think.
I think it's true. I've never heard any ill stories coming out of Newtown. We've gone to like their little street fairs. We drive around. They go all out for like Halloween and Christmas decorations. They
Nice.
just have a weird obelisk, a weird unlabeled obelisk. And I wonder if they just wanted to have some architectural feature that could be used as a landmark, and an
Hmm.
obelisk is just easy.
Yeah.
It's just
It's the
like
one with the obelisk.
right, it's simple geometric planes. You can make one quickly.
Yeah.
Standard obelisk.
Interesting. Who
So I
knows?
think
Who knows?
I would like to show you that place because you're never going to understand it unless you actually go there.
Good stuff.
These are things we can see. Uh, when you're in town, there is a local street art festival called Let Them Eat Art. I go here
Mm.
every summer. This is where I got your pizza print.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay.
It is only on Friday evening, so we don't have a lot of time to go there, but there it is.
Okay. Okay.
Another cool free street fair in a neat little part of town. Bunch of little shops.
Fun. Okay.
The Build-A-Bear workshop started here. We can go, if you wish, to the first Build-A-Bear workshop.
The first bear was built here.
I think so, yes.
Interesting.
Oh, just one of the many more things.
Okay. Good stuff. Yeah, we're kind of up for mostly whatever.
Okay.
We knew about Superman, we knew about the Muni, but yeah, we were interested in like some kind of cool museum or something, or just some kind of place to hang, some good places to eat, and stuff like that, which I'm sure we'll get to in just a sec here. But
Yes.
yeah,
There is a must do. A must do. You have not gone to St. Louis if you have not been to the City Museum.
okay,
I've told you about this place. It is truly just named City Museum, a very bland name for an incredibly exciting place. This is all found object art. It is
yeah,
a massive playground constructed of old junk, and it sprawls inside of and out of and on top of like an old shoe factory downtown.
it's wild. Yeah, I'm looking at pictures right now, and all these like, here's an airplane held up by all this kinds of scaffolding, and here's a school bus that's on top of this weird thing, and here's a I don't know, giant snake looking fence thing.
And that's just the outside. You go
Right? Yeah.
inside, there's caves upon caves upon caves. There's a big whale, not as big as the one in House on the Rock, but still a pretty big whale.
Yeah.
Like a carnival museum, big trees, a ton of slides,
Yeah. Yeah, I think
caves,
this would be
tunnels,
really
hidey
fun
holes.
to go
Yes,
check out. This would be awesome.
you'll love it.
All kinds of like weird stairs that look like they're made out of slinkies, but they're
Yeah,
giant
yeah,
size.
yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I think this would be a lot of fun to just go and
Mhm.
explore, take some pictures. have a good time. Yeah, absolutely.
Another, did you know that we have the World Chess Hall of Fame?
No, I did not.
We do. You can go see the world's largest chess piece.
Mm.
We have the National Blues Museum. I haven't made it there yet.
Speaking of chess, there's a place here in Oklahoma that has, it's the big, like, there's a ton of shops, you can go outdoors, there's a park, all of this stuff. Have I told you about this? Where
Yes.
we saw the kids just throwing these giant sized chess pieces into the man-made lake.
Swim for your lives, pawns.
Right, yeah. Checkmate me again, bitch. Yeah. So good. Anyways.
All right. That's a definite.
Yes. I would love to go see the City Museum in St. Louis.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. These are places you can eat.
Ah, yes, food.
Do you remember all those sodas I brought you?
Yes. Yeah.
That is from Fitz's Bottle Works. They've got 2 locations that are bottle works and restaurants. You can go there and have the biggest soda float you've ever seen in your life.
Oh, wow.
Not just the classic root beer float. Floats of all kinds. Any combination of soda plus ice cream that you can dream of, they can do it.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking up some pictures here. See if I can pull a couple of these up on screen a little bit. I don't have my like zoom in thing working, but yeah, big giant like soda floats with cream like piled on top, like 4 scoops
Mhm.
high.
Yes. Yes.
Incredible.
And this, one of the locations is not far from Blueberry Hill. Blueberry Hill,
Okay,
this is the
okay.
first place where I used to host trivia, actually. Um,
Ah, so you're a
this is
celebrity
just
there.
no, no. It was the trivia was not well attended. Maybe 2 bartenders remember me by this time. This is like standard bar food.
Okay.
It's it's just a dive bar, but a dive bar that's also crammed full of curated collections of things. Like it's
Yeah.
covered every inch, like a TGI Fridays, a 54th Street, and Applebee's, but if it was like purposeful, intentional collections of things.
I see one of like
Um,
here's like old school jukeboxes that have the like neon lights around the sides
yes.
and stuff like
Like
that.
a wall of nothing but Pez dispensers,
Yeah.
old
Arcade
celebrity
cabinets.
photos, all sorts of weird stuff. A bunch of like an old taxidermied or faux taxidermied animal.
Yeah.
And when you go to this part of town, they have a St. Louis Walk of Fame on the street. On the sidewalk, they got little stars, and the stars are like John Goodman, others. I don't
John
know how
Goodman, the
often
guy that's famous for recording the intro to the zoo.
is his most popular credit.
Right, yeah.
Probably the credit that has reached the highest amount of people. It's Monsters Inc. or that. Not sure. I don't know how often they update it. I don't know if they got past John Hamm. I know he's on there, but I
Okay.
don't know if it's like, oh, did you make it to James and Sean Gunn? Did you make it to Sterling K. Brown? I don't know the last time they made a new one. We'll have to
Right.
go see. Also on this street is a Moon Hotel.
A moon hotel.
Yes, here on the Loop, uh, there's many a treasure on the Loop,
Moon
including
hotel. Oh, they
Fitz's
got like
Blueberry Hill.
the Daily Planet thing on top of their little like
Yes,
rooftop
yeah, yeah, they got a Daily
thing.
Planet moon.
Interesting. It's called Moonrise? The
Yes,
Moonrise
yes,
Hotel. Interesting.
it's moon
Ooh.
themed.
I like their stairs inside, if that's actually what they look like.
It's that's where my brother and his wife took wedding photos. Was on those stairs.
Wow. Interesting. just looking at different pictures of like what their hotel rooms look like. Um, all of that stuff. This is fun. This is interesting. But yeah, I like their little like rooftop lounge thing that they got going on, and yeah, just like here's a
Oh,
big like moon statue up on top of that.
speaking of which, important question.
Yes.
How much arch do you want? Do you want to go up inside the arch, take the little
Mm.
elevator pod, go up there to the observation deck, look out on the city, just go up to the base of the arch, like look up at the thing, touch it, but don't go inside,
Good
or just
question.
see it from afar, from like some high view where I point at it at the distance, and I'm like, that's the arch, and you're like, I know, because it's an arch.
It's Melissa pointing to the Superman poster that she has
Huh?
on there. See, that's the
I made
arch.
it in real life.
um, I'm up for either going in or just going to it and like looking
Okay.
up at it. I don't necessarily need to go up in it and be like I conquered the arch. But it would be neat
Yeah,
to at
you
the very least like let's just go and be like, hey, here it is. Let's take a picture and
I think that's the best option.
okay.
It is you are truly crammed into like a little Men in Black space pod,
Mm,
and you crawl up the legs of the arch. It's like an ancient janky system. It's not
yeah,
dangerous, but it might rack your nerves a little bit. It's claustrophobia inducing.
I gotcha.
Uh, and it can like take a while. It can be a chunk out of your day.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll
Good
g- we'll,
good to know.
we'll go up and we'll touch the legs. We'll
Sure.
feel up
Yeah.
them legs.
Just be like, hey there, old buddy, old pal.
Right. We're not hitting a home run with the arch, but we're getting to like second base touching its legs.
Right. Like, hey, what kind of shoes do you wear? Nice arches. Right? Like
Nice arches. Other places to eat. High Point Burgers, one of which contains the real life Good Burger cart.
Oh. Oh, right.
I
Yes.
imagine
I think you
you're
have
gonna want to go
shown me
here.
that. High Point Burgers. St. Louis. I think I've looked at pictures of this before. You've mentioned it on one of our
Mhm.
other podcasts or something. Yeah, real like greasy big stacks of burgers. There's the good burger car, good burger mobile.
Yeah, good greasy diner food. I don't want to say greasy like it's a put down. And
Oh
in
no,
fact, High Point has an excellent salmon salad. They've got one really creative, good salad on the menu if that's what you want.
okay, interesting.
Hmm.
High Point. Okay, burgers, sandwiches, shakes. Yeah, yeah. So for food stuff, we again since we don't know the area, we don't know exactly what you have or all of that stuff. We're not
I mean,
necessarily looking for like
at
let's go
all.
to a fancy place. Um,
We've got that too. I think every city in America has everything you could eat just about.
uh,
It's not like there's a
sure, right,
genre that we
right,
just
yeah.
don't have. I'll say our specialties might be barbecue. We've got a signature cut of rib and pork steaks, which are what if steaks but they were bacon, or what if bacon but it was steaks? It's pork steaks. And
Interesting.
you don't go to a restaurant for that. Your dad just makes you one. And Italian food. We're a
Okay,
city
yeah,
that loves its Italian food specifically.
yeah. Um, yeah, I would like to go to kind of like a mix of places of like yeah let's go to
Okay.
like a burger joint like this, let's go to a standard but good like sit down restaurant, maybe let's go to like is there a nice bar we can go to and get a neat
Mhm. Mhm.
cocktail or something like that. I think that'd be really fun. um
Okay. All right, I've got stuff for all those.
yeah, I don't think we're super duper picky. with all of that, because we just kind of want to see what's out there and explore. So, um, yeah.
We have a brunch restaurant called The Shack.
Okay.
One of those places that's only open until like 3 o'clock. And I won't show you the menu because it is a lot of fonts on here and it might make you angry. But I
I
want to
already see a
read
picture of it.
I want to read you some of the menu item names.
Okay.
Witness protection.
Mm.
Make a grown man cry. Mommy, where does bacon come from? Please, Dad, don't buy that affliction t-shirt. Riding first class, sitting next to Vanna White. If Tim and Beebs went to prison. And my personal favorite, Gary's drunk ghost at Laclede. And if none of that tickles your fancy, you can see what the Wolf Pack special is that month.
Interesting.
This place is rowdy.
It looks interesting because it like on one hand it looks like it has that like rustic farmhouse kind of style, but then yeah, based on the names of the stuff and some of the pictures, like everything is just like covered in writing and graffiti and stuff. It really feels like it's like, what if we took a nice like homey breakfast place and had a really expensive party and then they just never cleaned up, but not in a bad way, but
Right.
like that's the theme of like
Yeah.
it's meant to look like something happened here.
Yeah. What if it's farmhouse meets animal house is kind of the vibe of The Shack.
The food looks good though. I'm looking at a bunch
It
of
is
different pictures and
It
stuff
is
like that.
very good. They used to have the omelet from the Bear. It's not on
Yeah,
this
yeah.
current menu I'm looking at, but maybe they'll still make it for you. We also have a metal bar called the Crow's Nest, and you can have metal brunch there.
Hell yeah. In Richmond, I used to live right next to the Guar bar because
Fun.
that's where the band is from. They're from Richmond, and they had their own little bar that would blast metal music and play Guar music videos on the on the TVs and stuff like that. It was fun. Interesting. That place looks good.
Now
The
we can
Shack.
we can do that for brunch. And
Yeah.
there's several of them throughout the city. There's a couple locations to pick from. So if one's
Nice.
too crowded, we can just go to the next one like 10 minutes away.
We're shacking up next door. That should be
There's
fun.
There's an Italian restaurant my family enjoys called Ragazzi's. And inside Ragazzi's is a stained glass window. And one of the images depicted in the stained glass window is a hot dog. Because it celebrates the 1904 World's Fair held right here in Forest Park. And one of the iconic foods was hot dog. Did you know we're the place where ice cream cones were invented? That happened
No.
right here. Somebody had ice cream, and they're like, "What if it was in a cone?"
Ooh, do you
Nobody
guys
knew
have a
that till
good ice cream place then?
Oh, Kyle, of course we do. Every place does. Okay, okay. Our signature place is Ted Drew's Frozen Custard.
Okay.
Ted Drew's is a little old man, and he comes out in the commercials. And for years and years, he would say, "It really is good, guys." And then, like 15 years ago, he updated it, and now he says, "It really is good, guys and gals."
Uh, well, it's a step in the right direction.
He's
He's
getting
getting
there.
there.
He's getting there. This is just like it's just like a stand. It's a classic frozen custard stand. It's
Oh,
nothing special. There's probably one similar in every city across the nation. This one is just ours.
nice. Okay. Yeah, something like that would be fun. I'm still looking at pictures of Ragazzi's. It also says they are famous for frozen fish bowls of beer, like a big
Oh yeah. Oh,
giant goblet, like a pimp
big,
cup. Yeah.
big heck. Yes,
Yeah.
massive, massive fishbowl drinks. If that's what you want, that's where we'll go.
That would be interesting.
I think that is a good taste of St. Louis, just like
Okay.
a moderately nice checkered tablecloth Italian place.
Yeah.
That's
Interesting.
us. We can
It's
feed you our
ragazzi's.
we can feed you our pizza. We can
Would
feed
love a good
you
pizza place.
our toast. Now you know what our pizza is, right?
Pepperoni.
Our pizza is thin. It is very thin, crispy, flaky
Gotcha.
crust. It has signature Provel cheese, which is sort of like a cousin of provolone, an
Okay.
extreme version of provolone. Provolone if it was mad.
If it wasn't a bitch.
Yes. X Games provolone is what we put on our pizza. And then the toppings are up to you. We've no signature toppings besides our weird cheese that only exists here. And then you cut it into little squares.
Mm,
It's like thin
yeah.
and crispy, and you just eat little bites of it.
Okay.
Put pepperoni on it. Put whatever.
Okay. Yeah. Would love a good pizza place. Stuff
There's
like that.
we have no shortage of those. If you want a more traditional non-St. Louis style pizza, we got plenty. We really have plenty. So the local foods I'd like to feed you. You've had Fitz's soda. That's all I was able to bring to you.
Mhm.
I bought you a gooey butter cake, and then I got to my hotel in Oklahoma City and put it in the fridge and woke up the next morning and realized this fridge doesn't work. I can't give you this food.
It's a
It
little
isn't
too
cold.
gooey now.
Yes. So you need to eat gooey butter cake.
Okay. That sounds good to me. Let's
You
get gooey.
we're gonna get gooey. So pizza, we've got some signature chips. There's red hot riplets and there's goat chips. I'll bring you both of those.
Okay.
We've got a number of beers. If
I'm
pick
always
beers,
down to try like a local beer or something
we
like
got
that.
we're a big beer city. If you want, we can
Perfect.
take a tour of the Anheuser-Busch factory, or we could
Oh,
go to
interesting.
Grant's Farm, which is like
Good old Grant.
owned by Anheuser-Busch, and it's just like a patch of land where like animals live, and you get on like a little like tour bus and you drive around and it's like, look, it's elk.
Cow.
It's fancier than cow. It's like deer or better. We got all kinds of animals you can see. We can go to
Oh
Grant's
yeah.
Farm, we can go to Purina Farm.
Yeah,
Uh
I'm kind of up for a lot of that stuff. That sounds fantastic. I don't know if we want to kind of keep a couple spots open to just kind of do something like, hey, we have like a little small thing at our hotel or whatnot to like,
yeah.
uh, let's like save up so we can pig out at dinner and do a bunch of stuff with that. Buy
We've
something from the store.
we're a rich culinary city. Do you like gin?
Yes,
Do you want to go to a whole room of gin?
sure.
It's called the Gin Room. It is a James Beard Award recognized, not winning, but it was like a finalist for best in alcohol professional services. Go to the
Interesting.
Gin Room. It's very good.
Yeah, okay. I'd be down for that. We
We
like making our little home bar here. I tried to make a new cocktail over the weekend. I think I'm calling it the teeny weeny bikini. It's a
cool.
little tiki style thing there. It was
Oh,
good.
do you have to drink it out of your titty shot glass, just little bit by little bit?
Right, a little bit. No, I use the like whiskey glasses that Rachel got me because that's kind of all I have.
You should upgrade to like larger glasses that also have glass boobs. We've
Right,
got
just like
shot, we've got rocks, we've got pint.
and then we got our giant beer mug.
Right. You want A cup, B cup, C cup, or D cup? There's a fun rooftop bar in the area it's in a slightly more suburban area, so you're looking out on, like, some businesses, on some houses. You can look out and see the, hotel where I had my senior prom.
Okay.
There's a soda fountain. We do have soda fountains.
Nice. Good stuff.
We have it all. We've got a really good 24-hour donut place.
Awesome.
Yes. I can send you home with some donuts.
Yeah.
There's a lot to cram
Um,
in.
yeah, I think that's kind of all I put on our little list of like things to think about here on our notes of like places to eat. A play? Are we baking a cake or no? Stuff like that. So yeah, I'm down for a lot of this stuff. I think it will fly by pretty fast though.
Yes. There is the kitchen conservatory where you can take cooking classes. That Sunday, they do have a cake decorating class.
Mm,
That place is very cool.
interesting. Interesting.
We our botanical gardens are really lovely. We've got a big indoor rainforest and a big indoor
Ooh,
desert.
might be fun.
Yeah, we have a Frank Lloyd Wright house. We have another weird art hotel that's not moon themed. We have two different art hotels. Hotels that are also art galleries.
Interesting. Okay.
We have
I
some
wonder how
very
much
good
it is to
Thai
stay at the
restaurants.
Moon Hotel.
I don't know.
I'll figure out that stuff later on. I don't need to do that right now. But Moonrise Hotel, St. Louis. Let me at least pull up their website. Yeah, I'm super stoked. How walkable is the city? Would you say?
Um, certain areas of it are walkable. Depends on what it is. If you wanna get yourself a hotel that's within walking distance of, like, a Starbucks or a place you can get breakfast or a midnight snack or some necessities or whatever, I can help with that.
Okay.
Uh, we are a bigger city than Oklahoma City, but the nice thing about us is that everything is, like, 20 minutes away from everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing here is too gnarly of a commute. Certain areas are quite walkable. The Loop is, Newtown is. Forest Park is massive enough that you'd probably wanna drive from each individual site you're going to.
Okay. Good to know. Moon Hotel, the superior room with one king bed, which they say is in high demand, is 204 a night for 793 total. Interesting. They got all kinds of little rooms here. Anyways. So, um, cool. Well, I think that puts a lot of good, interesting ideas in my head. Um, we'll probably have to confer with Rachel for
Of
what
course.
she's into. Um,
Let me know if there's any things Rachel loves that I've never known that Rachel loves.
right, yeah, I asked her today. I was like, "Is there anything you're interested in doing? Because you're my ride, but you're not just my ride."
Mm.
um, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna be like, oh, we went heavy on one day and then we just kind of chill the next day, or we do half and half, so we do a little bit on each day,
Mm-mm.
but it's not super packed, um, or something like that. I don't know. So all of this sounds fantastic. I will talk with her. I will talk with you this week as we kind of finalize a few things. Uh,
Mhm.
and whatnot. But I'm excited. I think this is going to be a lot of fun, and no matter what the podcast ends up looking like, I think it'll
Yeah.
be super fun.
I'm very excited to show off my city. We have very,
Yeah,
very cool things here that I think people don't always know about.
cool, good stuff.
Right.
Good
If
stuff.
you ask the average person what stuff you know about St. Louis, they're like Arch, Cardinals, John Hamm, and then I don't know. I don't know what the rest of their list is.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. Well, let's take a quick break for housekeeping. I don't think we have too much to talk about when we come back, but a few things, a culture lightning round, and maybe another pod swap. We'll be right back. Thank you so much for checking out this podcast. We hope you're enjoying it. If you didn't know, we make multiple different shows here at the Whatnauts, and a lot of hard work goes into making them, so we would love it if you check them all out. But none of this is possible without your support. Head over to patreon.com/thewhatnauts and you can get access to over 40 hours of exclusive content, including our Patreon first podcast, The Pilots Club, when you sign up at our $3 tier. Of course, there is a free version of the Pilots Club available, but episodes are exclusive to our Patreon for 2 years before they hit the free feeds. If you're interested in buying merch, we have shirts, hoodies, mugs, and more for sale over at thewhatnauts.com/store. Another great way to help us out is by subscribing and leaving a nice rating and review on your podcasting app of choice. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel for video versions of the show, trailer reactions, and live streams. And lastly, you can always find out more information about the shows we make on our website, thewhatnauts.com. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Here's everything that we have been up to over here at our site at the Whatnauts.
Over here.
Yeah, right, yeah. First of all, big shout out to our Patreon supporters. Thank you so much. We appreciate you and we love
Thank
you.
you.
Over on the Pilots Club, Melissa, you and I are just about to record an episode on Murder, She Wrote, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. Over on the free version of the Pilots Club, we released our episode on Cheers, with a big rest in peace to George Wendt, who also recently passed away, who played Norm in Cheers. So that is out. You can go check that out right now. Over here on the Captain's Log, last time, Melissa, you had a big old presentation all about the House on the Rock. Your trip up to Minnesota, right?
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. I was wrong. But yeah, there was some wild stuff that you got to see in the House on the Rock. You had pictures, you had a whole presentation. It was fantastic. Go check out that episode. Over on the review show, we dipped back into some comics, specifically in the Valiant universe. We got to talk about the superhero Faith. We read the first 3 volumes of that, had an awesome discussion about that book. Over on the Reactor Core, Mission Impossible 8, The Final Reckoning. We got to do a big old spoiler cast on that. Had a blast talking about all of the amazing action, but also the weird choices in that movie. And some things we were expecting, and some places that maybe the franchise could go down the road if they want to, or where it might be. So, a lot of good stuff over there with that. Last little bit of housekeeping. I think I have now gotten, of our back catalog, I've gotten up through the 7-year anniversary retrospective on our Patreon exclusive RSS feeds. So you have all that back catalog, some missing space, and then all the modern stuff, all from this year, from 2025. So I'm slowly but surely getting it all up there. And I think after I get Review Show, Captain's Log, and Reactor Core up there, I'll work to get crossplay up there, even though I don't really need to do that one since that show is defunct. But I figured, hey, why not? Good to have
Nice thing to do.
an archive of all of that stuff on there, yeah. So,
Yeah, what if you wanna hear about a Nintendo Direct from 4 years ago?
you know, I mean, we're about to get the Switch 2, so yeah, if you want to hear all our thoughts on the Nintendo Directs of the past, uh, you certainly can. Um, cool, good stuff with that. Melissa, I watched Black Bag today.
Thank you.
Yes, because we decided to postpone, I was able to watch that. Um, and that's what I did today. You had seen this. I think you went to go see it in theaters, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I only got
Yeah,
to watch it on Peacock, so
I saw it in theaters, and then after I saw Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning for the first time, and I didn't know what to think about it, and I was sort of off center and on edge, I watched Black Bag to come back down to center. Like,
interesting.
this'll
Yeah,
set me right.
it's I enjoyed it quite a bit. It's very for like a spy thriller. It's very low key.
Yeah.
It's very calm. There is tension. Like there is some good tension in there, but it's slow burn feels like too slow of a descriptor, but it is on the slower side. And
Mhm. I
they
mean,
make some interesting choices.
it's a 90-minute movie. This thing gets you in and out pretty quickly, but it has a very short and straightforward list of things to accomplish so it can take its time with the things it wants to accomplish.
Yeah. And I liked it. I dug what they were doing because I don't think I've seen some of the things that happen in this movie in any other spy stuff, especially with the main character's relationship. Um,
Mhm. Mhm.
it's almost like a reverse Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Uh,
Um, but I I don't know if I fully appreciated it as much as I wanted to,
hmm.
if that makes sense. Because the
What it
plot, the actual thing that they're like trying to make sure didn't get stolen or steal it back or sell it. I have no idea what that thing is. They don't really explain it. It's not really important of
no.
what this thing is exactly. It's more so about the situation they find themselves in and the strength of their own relationship, which I like that stuff, but also I don't feel like their relationship was on screen as much as I would have liked. Because I did like their
I
relationship.
they
It was
they do spend
almost
quite a lot of the
sexy.
movie apart.
It was almost
Oh,
sexy, but I don't
I
think it
thought
was sexy enough.
I thought it was very sexy, but you're in a relationship and I'm not, so I'm starved. So,
It's like
any
it's not unsexy. Let me at least establish that. Like I think they are going for that, for evoking that stuff in the way the characters flirt with one another, in the things they mention. Um, yeah, it's there, but the main couple specifically, I was like, I just need more of them. It feels like I could have used
yes.
like another half an hour to flesh out their relationship that much more so
I
that I could have been into their relationship a little bit more
I
than I
want
was.
I'd love further sequels. We've had Black
Ah,
Bag. I
yeah.
can't wait for the sequel Gray Box or Brown Sack
Manila
or
folder.
Manila. Perfect. Is Manila a color? I guess so.
I don't know. I don't
It
know.
might as well be.
Speaking of relationships, Melissa, you watched Friendship.
I did. Have you seen Friendship?
I have not. I'm gonna try to get Rachel to go see it with me this week, but we might not get to it. But I would like
It's
to go check it out.
it's a lot of fun, and even beyond being a very funny comedy, it looks great. It's shot really well. It is this interesting score.
Hmm.
It does really accomplish the undercurrent of thriller atmosphere very well.
Interesting. I loved their trailer that made you think it was
Mhm.
some like
Yes.
psychological thriller, but
Right, and that's
all the
not
accolades are like funniest movie of the year. It's hilarious. It's great. Just like this doesn't make
that's
sense.
that's wrong. That is not misrepresenting what the film is. That is all in
Interesting.
there in
Okay.
spades, yes.
Huh. All right. Yeah, I'm super fascinated by this. If I don't catch it in theaters, I certainly
Oh,
will check this out on streaming.
it's it's so fun to watch. I saw it in a sold out theater.
Oh, that's
Uh,
awesome.
it's really good to see with a crowd, please. I really recommend this one in the
Cool.
theater.
Good. Good.
Another thing I've been laughing at a lot is the British game show Taskmaster.
I am not familiar.
This is a unique game show. I think it's on its 19th season, and the seasons are like 10 episodes long. It isn't like one constantly running game show like we have here in America.
Right.
Every season of like 10 episodes has its own group of 5 comedians. And the premise of the show is that they are assigned ridiculous tasks to do,
Okay.
like draw the biggest circle. And they have to like think outside the box and cheat the game and figure out, how do I draw the biggest circle? Like there's all these weird pitfalls or weird rules. Or like you go in, one of these tasks they just had was you go into a room and then you open an envelope, and the envelope says, write down every word you said before you opened this envelope. See, stand-up comedians who came in and like made a dumb joke with the host of the show were like, great, now I have to remember verbatim what I said and write it down, and I have to use like 2 different colored pencils, and I have to do it in like 90 seconds. It's just like dumb, unnecessary, unproductive challenges. Just pedantic loopholes and bullshit like that. And
Okay.
it's watching
Interesting.
people figure out how to try. There's so in one of these tasks, the judge stands in a ruined abbey in the English countryside, and he gives the contestant 5 different colored capes and a big sack of pillows, and he says, you need to put on a cape and carry the pillows from this point to this other point and then put them in a bin. Every 20 seconds, I'm going to close my eyes and then open my eyes, and I can't see what color cape you're wearing. If I see what color cape you're wearing, you have to start over.
Okay.
So, right. And so one of the guys figured, so like most, right, all of them are. That's the
Yeah.
point. None of
Yeah.
these are good or normal. And they're doing things like, okay, I'm gonna like sneak around, and then when he opens his eyes, stop. You have my back to him so he can't see what color cape I'm wearing. And then when he closes his eyes again, I'm gonna start walking again. But one of these guys is like, I'm gonna lay on the ground. I'm gonna scoot on my back so that that way he can't see what color cape I'm wearing. And that's how I'll win the game. And that way I don't have to start and stop and only move when he has his eyes closed. I'm just
Interesting.
scooting.
That's
There's
some
so
wild.
I started watching it this season because one of the comedians is Jason Mantzoukas.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh, I guess occasionally they have an American comic on there. I don't know. I've seen clips of it before, but this is the first whole season I'm watching, and now I want to go back and watch everything else.
Good. Fine. That's awesome. Always good when you find a show like that. It's like, yes, there's like 10 seasons.
Right.
I can
And
go
guess
back
what?
and binge.
It's all on YouTube.
Oh,
It's
nice.
just on YouTube. It's
There you
so
go.
accessible.
Yeah. Good stuff with that. That is our cinema corner and all the stuff there. Melissa, I want to do another pod swap in the near future. Some time ago, I'm gonna say 2 years ago, about ish. I don't know exactly when. Here on the Captain's Log, we did what we called a pod swap. And I gave Melissa a couple podcasts to listen to. You gave me a couple podcasts to listen to. Whether I don't remember if we mandated specific episodes or it
It
was a
was
mix
just
of like,
whatever the new episode was that week. So
gotcha.
if we decided on Sunday, it's like what our shows would be. We had no idea what their episodes of the week would be. It
Ah,
was just a gamble. We were flying blind.
okay. Well, yeah, is sometime in the near future, I would like to do another podcast swap. Um, no particular reason. I don't really have anything in mind to give you yet. But I just thought it was fun. It was like, oh yeah, I remembered that. It would be interesting to be like, hey, listen to this and see what the other's experience is.
So I have a lot less podcast listening time than I used to. If we did another last time we did it, we traded 3 shows apiece. I only have 1 to give you because the amount of shows I can listen to regularly has
Oh
really
yeah,
dwindled.
yeah.
But I've got 1 really good one to hand you.
Okay, interesting. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, we'll talk and we'll put that on the calendar at some point in the near future here. So, yeah, be on the lookout for all of that. Pop culture lightning round. Melissa, we got some delays. Avengers Doomsday is pushing back its release date in theaters from May 1st, 2026 to December 18th, 2026. And that means Avengers Secret Wars will now open December 17th,
Mm.
2027 instead of May 7th, 2027. And if I'm not
Interesting.
mistaken, I believe the new Avengers Doomsday date, that December 18th, is the same day that Dune Messiah is supposed to come out. I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you can have
Choose
a
your fighter.
Doomsday and a Messiah. Yeah. Um, something like that. So that's
What
one
weird
of the
hair do
big.
you want to see Florence Pugh have? Make your choice.
Yeah. But in other Marvel news, they are skipping Comic-Con this year. No Hall H panel.
That is a big surprise. We have been speculating that they had more Doomsday announcements in their pocket.
From what
So
I
maybe
understand, it's because the movie is in production. All the actors are over there working on that
oh,
thing.
they just have nobody they can send to San Diego. Send the chairs
Or
again. I'd clap
not
to
enough.
see a chair.
Right, or like not enough, like I don't think this will draw the crowd that we're hoping for. uh
Marvel draws the crowd. They don't care who's there.
I mean,
I
yeah,
I'd love
but
I would love to see what supporting player they have. Just a supporting player and Kevin and a pile of chairs. So it's
yeah.
just Kevin and Jacob Batalon and chairs.
So yeah, that's on one hand disappointing, but they are working on a new Avengers movie. So good stuff with that. I'm
Who do you
assuming.
well,
I was going to ask when D23 is. I don't remember what time of year that usually is.
D23 alternates, so I don't think there is a D23 this year.
Okay.
Or if there is, it's like a much smaller scale one. They only have the big ones every other year.
Maybe they'll do their own thing. I feel like Marvel is big enough to like they could just put out
Yeah,
a little like 10-minute video with all the
more
announcements
chairs.
and stuff, right? A Marvel Direct, like a Nintendo Direct
Yes,
kind of thing,
I
and
like
that's all
that.
they would need to do.
In Marvel's absence, who do you think is going to win Comic-Con this year? DC?
Uh, Probably DC because they will have just released Superman. I think Peacemaker season 2 is coming later in the summer. I think in August, if I remember correctly. So they'll have more of that to show. I could see them if they haven't already. I could see them showing the clip of their new intro, the new song and
Mm,
DJ dance. It would be interesting if they do that live, a live performance of
wow.
their intro. That'd be good. But yeah, I would like to hear a little bit more about what DC has planned next. I know at one point James Gunn was out
Swamp
there.
Thing.
He's like, yeah, we have this, we have that, we have this and that, and things have kind of moved and shifted, or we haven't heard much about them, or like I would like to know like, all right, here's like the things that have been rolling. Here's what we're getting ready for. Here's what's
Yeah.
next. I
What's
really want them to step up.
So we've had Creature Commandos,
Yep.
started Creature Commandos and never finished it. Not
It's
for
all
any
right.
particular reason.
It's
I'm just
good.
busy. Um, we get Superman. We get
Yeah.
Peacemaker season 2. Next up is Super.
I think so. Maybe.
I think
Yeah, like
so.
like that's the thing is like I'm not exactly sure of their
Yes.
calendar.
Right. I can name everything they're working on, but I don't know the order
When is
for
that
any of these.
Lanterns show coming out,
Well,
right?
yes, that's relatively soon also. That's ahead of
Yeah.
like the
That might have a
Themyscira
release date. I'm
show
not
and
sure.
others.
Oh god, yeah, like the
Yeah,
Themyscira show, is that even still happening?
I don't think anything is not happening. It's just they let us in on their plans quite early. Like very few of these things have a name attached.
Yeah.
Like I think Andy Muschietti is doing Swamp Thing and Flanagan's doing Clayface. And I
Yeah,
don't know
there's that
where the
Clayface
Batman
movie.
2 stands in all of this.
They have been recently talking about more kind of penguin-like spin-offs of the Batman. That there are more
Mm.
in the works, or at least being talked about behind the scenes. So who knows? Who knows with all of that? Um, I'm still excited for Comic-Con nonetheless, because I'm
Yeah, that's
sure
always
there will
fun.
be lots of good stuff there.
You know
Oh,
what we're
go
getting
ahead,
close
please.
to? It's about time for we have an Avatar coming out in December. That's a big deal. Is there a poster trailer for Avatar: Fire and Ash?
I'm so meh on Avatar. I
It's
was very meh on the first one. I never saw the second one.
Kyle, the second one is much better than the first one. And like even if you're not super interested in them, they are major things. Like they are really
Yeah,
going to dominate the box office and the conversation for a while. So I'm like, all right, let's get to it. Tell me more.
true indeed. True indeed. Netflix this weekend had their Tadum event. Still think that's it's on one hand a terrible name, but also just like, all right, yeah, that makes sense.
You got
It's good.
there's only so many words available for anything.
But
It's better than
it's their iconic sound, and I think that's what makes it unique. And
yes.
it's just like,
It's
okay,
better
yeah,
than it's better than Geeked Week.
yeah. Geeked Week
That
was
means
not
nothing.
great.
That could be anybody. Geeked Week could be like a Best Buy sales event. You don't know.
Oh man, but yeah, they've been hosting their To Dumb event. I don't know if that was a one-day thing or an all-weekend thing or not. I've not been paying enough attention, but I know they have been putting out teasers and release dates for a number of their things. We got a new teaser for Squid Games season 3, which is coming out at the end of the month. I'm super stoked about that. I think we got a short teaser for Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein movie.
Not
Um,
did you watch this? Because it's
I have
sizable.
not
It's
yet.
not why? What have you been doing? Black Bag didn't take all
Yeah,
day. It's 90 minutes.
Melissa, I can't let you know what I'm doing. Black bag.
Black
Okay, black bag. That's all I have to say. Um,
No, it is a substantial trailer for Frankenstein. More
Interesting.
than just a
Okay,
teaser.
good stuff. Good stuff. For fans of Stranger Things, they announced the release dates of season
Late.
5 in a 3-part thing. Yeah.
Part 1 like Thanksgiving, part 2 Christmas, series finale New Year's Eve.
Yeah. Interesting. I wonder if the timing of the show lines up with those dates, and they wanted to do something with that.
Weird.
Uh,
We'll see.
and then the thing I think both Melissa and I are most excited about. We have a release date for Wake Up, Dead Man,
Wake up.
December
You
12th. This is the new Knives Out mystery.
I You didn't write this down on the list originally, and I wonder if you saw it and forgot what this string of words meant.
No, I was looking through the things that I liked on Threads, and I don't think I had seen the post on Threads, but I had seen it in a Discord. So I had just forgotten to write it in our notes. But thank you for putting that in there. I'm stoked. I
Yes.
cannot wait for a new Knives Out mystery.
Let's
Now, Melissa, you will hear me say this again next weekend on our review show episode of Poker Face. But there's an episode in season 1 that is almost exactly what I had said, what I thought would be an interesting
Oh, yes.
idea
Yes.
for Knives Out 3 for Wake Up Dead, for what ended up becoming Wake Up Dead Man, and it just confirms that I had a good idea.
You did. Let us read. Let us read from the book of Ryan Johnson, the
Okay.
cast list for Wake Up Dead Man.
Yes, please.
Daniel Craig returns. Hoping Hugh Grant also returns. We'll see. This stars Josh O'Connor, Glenn Close,
Good.
Josh Brolin,
Good.
Mila Kunis,
Good.
Jeremy Renner,
Mhm.
Kerry Washington, Andrew Scott, Kaylee Spaney, fellow Missourian,
Okay.
Daryl McCormick, and he's taken us to church. Thomas Hayden Church is in this. What a treat.
Good stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm super excited about it. So good to know that we are getting some fun things from Netflix down the road. And then last but not least, also one I have not yet had the time to watch, but there's a new teaser out for Gen V Season 2. This is the spin-off of The Boys. I really enjoyed Gen V. It was fantastic. So good. Melissa, you would love
I
The
can't.
Boys.
It seems too dark for me. I want a show that's all the blood and all the sex, but it isn't cynical at all. And I don't know if that is a show.
There's I see where you're coming from. I get that. I understand it. I don't think it's as dark as you're thinking it is. Right, but like also that like there's enough weird stuff in there and absurd and gross stuff and funny stuff in there that I think you would
I
end up being okay.
I know it has things I like Jack Quaid and some sort of a destructive orgy. Those sound good.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Eventually. I will get there.
Yeah. But I'm super excited for season 2 of Gen V. It's gonna be an interesting one because I don't remember the actor's name, but one of the actors in this show, he was also in Sabrina. He was the guy,
Harvey.
the
Harvey
guy.
Kinkle.
I don't think she was her boyfriend in that show, but he ended up passing away. And so I think they had to delay the show a little bit. So excited that it is finally coming out and they were able to make that work. But yeah, that is it. That is our pop culture lightning round for this episode. Pew, pew, pew. Cool, good stuff. I don't have anything else on our notes here. I think we got it all. We wrapped it up.
I'm behind on F1. I was going to catch up on the Barcelona race this evening, and then my schedule changed, and I had to do this instead. It is funny. Never before, because sometimes I'll be like, I know due to international time zone differences, a race has already happened.
Mhm.
I can go to YouTube. I can look at the highlights. I'm going to hold off. I'm going to watch like the whole recording of the race. But in the interim time, I'm like, I hope nobody died. Which I don't have to do with any other thing. Like, hope nobody crashed and burned. I wouldn't know otherwise.
I feel like it's something that big, I would probably tell you and be like, whoa, hey, this happened.
I'd hate that, but also thank you, I guess.
Right, yeah.
Just wake up on Sunday morning and it's like somebody's in a coma. It went bad.
Yeah. I will say the final 6 laps of the race were real good. Real good stuff.
Okay.
So,
The Monaco Grand Prix, which was the first one I was able to watch like on ESPN
oh,
beginning to
nice.
end. That that was really fun. That
Yeah.
was interesting. It's Monaco is just beautiful to look at in
It
general,
sure
very
is, yeah.
scenic, just stunning. But very interesting odd strategies there.
Yeah, yeah. Good stuff indeed. Well, let's wrap things up. I had a lot of fun with this one. So, Melissa, where can the people contact you on the internet?
Just email me at yourhostmelissa@gmail.com. Tell me the gooeyest city you can think of.
Good stuff indeed. If you guys want to follow me, I am at Yo Kyle Springer. And if you would like to stay up to date with all of the shows that we do, we are at the Whatnauts, at thewhatnauts.com on Blue Sky. So please go like, share, and subscribe. You guys know the deal with all of that. If you're watching this on YouTube, go check out more of our videos right over there on that side of the screen. That would help us out a ton. But yeah, this has been number 297 of the Whatnauts Captain's Log. We will see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.